Hey y'all, how's everyone doing? Hello to those that will come in. Hi Genesis, thank you for being one of the first one, the super mod. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. Um, hey Jaden, how are you? Nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you, Jaden. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about family feuds. You know, I kind of, this is kind of a touchy subject. It's not just talking about Kobe Bryant's past relationship with his parents, but it's just talking about like in general. And just sometimes not even just parents, but just sometimes family. Um, in families, we have some disagreements. Some people, you have to treat them with a long handled spoon. Some people, you forgive, you move on, you reconcile. So there is some instance. Hey Lovelace, how are you, sweetie? There's some I said Lovelace. There's some there's some situations to where that you really have to know and discern. And discerning is basically judging something accurately, um judging something fair. And and it's kind of like you really have to kind of see if some, because some family and some friends, people in general, are not always meant to be in your life. There's some people that are just there for a season. But when it comes to parents, when it comes to like blood relations, like, is that any different? How do you deal with that if your mother is toxic or your father is toxic, and there's just no, hey Juicy, there's no reconciliation there? What do you do when it's your parents? Like, that is the most hardest thing to deal with, like a family member. And I remember, just briefly, I had a situation with my thank you, Lovelace. I'm doing well as well. I had a situation with my father where, when I got a little older, my dad was, he had his ways and I had mine, but my dad could sometimes be, really kind of volatile at times, and very, I would say at times he could be an angry drunk, right? And there was a point in my life that I had to separate myself from him. Especially when I was in my 20s, and it was time to move anyway. I just had to figure out how to do it. So I was going, and I think it was 21. I was going to, still going to school, college, and I was trying to graduate, and then I was working part time. So I knew at that point I couldn't afford to move on my own, but I knew that if I didn't, um the relationship between me and him was going to get worse. So I had to make some important decisions, and I had to really kind of step out on faith, and ask certain people for help. And later on, me and my dad established a relationship 10 years before, the last 10 years before he passed. And I'm so glad, because I had that time not only to forgive, and if it was something that I did to him, he forgave me. I was there for my dad in his last 10 years. And so when he passed, I had no regrets. I had absolutely no regrets. But what do you do when you have that family member or that parent or those parents where you can't reconcile? Like, does that affect you in your other relationships? If you're married, or if you are dating, or if you're work relationships, things like that, you have to kind of think about, does those relationships in your family set the stage for every relationship in your life? That's something to think about. And I will have an open panel. And matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and pin it. So those who would like to come up, I'm going to share some videos. And this is like happened a few years ago. You guys remember when Kobe Bryant passed, And a lot of people were talking about, his relationship with his mother. He had a relationship with his mother-in-law, but he didn't have an existing relationship with his own parents at the time. And even though his parents came to his memorial, they weren't asked to speak. And I thought that was pretty interesting that his wife got a lot of backlash because of it. So um, it's just something to think about. Does your relationships, do they really affect the other parts of your life? Um, and I mean that sometimes, um, how we look at our parents, like our dad and our mom, that does affect how we sometimes even pick the person that we want to potentially be with. If we sometimes had a father or absentee father, or maybe he was there but he was unemotionally available, or maybe he was there or he was volatile. Hey Alif, how are you? Hey Empress, good to see you. Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. And I'm going to also share the interview. I'm just going to share a clip of Ticket TV. I subbed up to him, Ticket TV, and when Kwame Brown was talking about the relationship that Kobe, he kind of seen Kobe and his parents have. I was taught as a little girl, and my dad used to always say, he used to always say, "Look, honor y'all mother and father, for your days will be long." That's in the Bible. And I don't know if y'all parents ever said that. And also I heard, "I brought you in this world and I'll take you out." They used to say all those kind of things. And at first I was like, what the world, And then I realized what he was saying, like, boy, don't play with me. So, hey, kids, how are you? So you hear those kind of things, but does honoring your mother and father, whether they are toxic, whether they are horrible parents in your opinion, do you still have to honor them? And if you do, will you have a better life if you do? Or is that just something that we as people believe because they brought us in this world, we're supposed to honor them just for that? So it just depends. I just don't, I'm just putting things out there. I do go by the belief, honor your mother and father, because like I told you, when my dad passed, I didn't have no regrets. I wasn't crying over the casket when my dad died. Why? Because I did what I was supposed to do when he was here. So when he died, I was sad. I cried, but it wasn't like, how some people crying over the casket, they about to fall into the casket and go into the grave with them, because they are just drowning with sorrow. And a lot of that times, not all, but some of the times, it's, hey Don, what's good? A lot of the times it's because they didn't do what they were supposed to do when their parents were alive. And then let's just be honest, some parents, um they're horrible. They they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And but do you still respect them? you know I'm thinking about Kobe's, when he came up, his mother and I think father were probably over his money, and maybe they made some mistakes. And sometimes, family, it's kind of touchy when it come to money with family. And maybe Kobe maybe seen some mishandling of money and he didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been anything. It could have been because they didn't like his wife. Maybe they chose another woman and he didn't want that. So there's all types of reasons why people have uh, frictions in families. It's all types. So I'm gonna get to this point because y'all know how I am. I can talk, and I don't want to be over talking. But I also do believe that respect is given when it's deserved as well. When you get a certain age, say for instance, you're an adult and you still, there's some situations where it's just a lot of, toxic stuff going on. Sometimes you have to separate yourself from people. And unfortunately, that is, hey, 7G07. And unfortunately, that is how it is sometimes. Kobe's parents sold his memorabilia for money. Oh, he got mad. Okay. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Money plays a it plays a big hand on why people don't fool with other people. Because they feel like their family has, cheated them. Let me play this. Some of you have already seen this.
Okay, I spoke. Me and him, we had a
Let me turn
conversation.
this
We were
up.
both out in a tournament. We was playing out there on pro teams, and the tournament was over there. And I chopped it up with him a little. He told me the exact same story. And then he just came out recently in an interview, and he said in the interview, he got a lot of backlash for this interview. But he said in the interview, he said his experience with the late great Kobe Bean Bryant, rest in peace to Kobe, the late great Kobe Bean Bryant. He said his experience was that he said basically Kobe refused to talk to him. And when he tried to talk to Kobe, Kobe said, look, man, don't ever talk to me until you get your accolades up. You can't talk to me unless you got accolades. Now, I said, this is my thing, and I want to hear what you got to say. And you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. My thought process on that was Kobe wasn't playing no games at that time. In my opinion, at that time, Shaq had left. Everybody was saying Kobe couldn't do nothing else. He wasn't going to win. He couldn't do nothing. And I think he was possessed and only wanted to be with guys who was driven to win championships and help him get back to a level of championship lore that he wanted to be at. And he didn't care who he had to alienate, who he didn't have to talk to, who he didn't have to be cool with to get to wherever he wanted to go. So I thought, from what I seen from the outside looking in, that Kobe's the type of guy that if he don't think that you doing what he think you should be doing, he off you. From people criticize Smush for what he said was his truth, because he said he went and told Kobe something that ain't had nothing to do with basketball, and Kobe told him, "Look, don't even talk to him." People saying, "Oh, Smush, you a bum, this and the third, you lying, bro, you was there, So, and I heard you talking about this on your channel too. Hey, and y'all, if y'all not already subscribed, Kwame Brown Bust, like y'all already know, is right there on the screen. Subscribe to his channel. Y'all already know he got 1,700-1,800 people in here. So, and we're gonna be doing this on the regular, bro. So this is gonna get crazy what we get ready to bring to y'all. But, bro, what I want you to explain to people on here that didn't hear what you said on your channel a few weeks back. What did you? What's your opinion on that,
bro? Kobe was an asshole. I mean, I'm just gonna say that right off rip. I never said this before, but everybody talk about this Mamba mentality and all this, but most people cannot accept whatever you call the Mamba mentality. Kobe was an asshole, and it doesn't allow for you to let a person grow and be different. Smush Parker was balling. Smush Parker, whatever he was before he came to the Lakers, Smush Parker bought into the Lakers system. He was doing everything right. Only on 7 or 8 shots, he averaged like 11 or 12 or 12 or 13 points, 5 or 6 assists, and he was getting minimal shots. When you're with a guy who's that great, who think they're supposed to shoot the ball every time, you barely get to touch it. But Kobe is an asshole, and that's why I was about to go in his shit one day, and I explained about the fight that we almost had, because Kobe is not just about basketball. I just think he was an introvert who had to be around people who really didn't like people. And he was very judgmental, and to the point to where he didn't like me, and my relationship went sour with Kobe when I gave his mother and father tickets. I knew I was going to be traded right after that, because ever since I gave his mother and father tickets, he was on me. Oh, man, what the fuck? This and that. Everything I would say, he would be mad. But before, he was talking different. Before, when I got there, if you look at the interviews, he say Kwame is working hard. He's doing that. When I
think he cut out a little bit, y'all. He gonna come right back in. I think he cut out just a little bit. Y'all get, there you go.
Okay. I'm from the South, so we don't play that in the South. Like, you honored our mother, you honored our father. And so when I saw his mother and father outside of the game.
Hold on, y'all. Think he coming right back. He got twisted up just a little bit. He moving on something. And so, and this is all out of love. I know he loved Kobe being Bryant. He gonna tell you he loved Kobe, but he telling y'all the truth. And this is why I said to y'all, like, man, Kobe, that guy, man. I try to tell you, Kobe, man, listen, bro. Kobe was cutthroat. He gonna get do it to your face, but he doing it. He trying to win, bro. Here you go, right here.
Yeah, somebody called me. My bad.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But with like I said, like I'm from the South, and I don't know how people feel, but like I just felt something in my spirit. I'm like, I remember talking to my mom about it because she used to come out to California all the time. I'm like, Mom, there ain't nothing that you could do to make me disown you the way I see this man disown his mother and father. Like, I know you've done things wrong, but at some point, I'm gonna make amends and come back to you. So I couldn't respect him on that level, and I told him that. I'm like, nigga, you don't get no respect from me talking to me like that because I bought your mama and dad tickets. And like Kobe never had his ass beat, and that's what he was about to get. Because I told him, you letting all these people tell you that you right about everything and you dead ass wrong. Like, you don't do that to your mother and father. I don't give a fuck. Do that
so y'all was about to get into it?
Now I'm about to beat Kobe ass.
Hold on,
No get into it.
Hold on, I'm saying, what happened though? How y'all was gonna get? What happened?
Well, I got his mother and father tickets to the game because they were outside at the top of the tunnel and people treating these people like trash. I'm like, this Kobe Bryant mother and father can't get into the Staples Center. Like, what the fuck? I like the janitor should have gave them tickets. They birthed this guy that everybody is enjoying. And so all of LA love Kobe, but I said I can't respect that nigga. I told him, I said, I can't respect you. And he ended up respecting me more because I told him, nigga, I can't respect you. You disrespecting your mama like that. You disrespecting your dad. I don't give a fuck what they did. Now you in control. I can't respect you if this is the way you treat your mother and your father. And nothing good comes to a man that disrespect their mother and their father. I don't give a fuck how much money. I don't give a fuck how many shots you make. Nothing good comes to a man that or a woman that disrespects their mother and their father in the way that I saw this man do.
And so, how did you and Kobe's relationship end up? Because everybody gonna think you hate Kobe now. They're gonna just think you hate Kobe and this and the third. And how did you see Kobe? Like, did you see him like as a teammate? Did you see him doing that because of his drive to win, or did you thought he was just like, you know what I'm saying? How did you see that?
It wasn't a drive to win. Come with an NBA player, you're gonna have family that do things they wasn't supposed to do. Kobe Bryant made money as a young man. I'm pretty sure his mother and father may have mismanaged some of his money or was trying to protect him, so they thought, and they probably used his money.
Okay, and I'm gonna finish that, but I want to speak to the people that came in. Hey, what's up, realist? What's up, the queen? What's up, real Chase? Real Chase, you real fake? somebody, somebody call you fake, real Chase. I was just messing with you, but I had to throw that in there. Um, Real Chase, it's good to see you, brother. I hope everybody has been having a good New Year so far. I'm uh keep playing. I just want to speak to those that came in.
Money like it was theirs. So, and I'm not saying this as fact. This is just what I'm assuming because the hatred that he had to come from somewhere. So, um, I believe that that's what happened. They probably treated him like a kid. They was using his money. And so some white folks got in his ear, you do this, do that. And he isolated his mother and father. So once I bought him tickets, he started riding me. He started joking, started playing with me.
So I really like that. I really like
Shout
that
out to Kevin
part because it has to. That's when I saw that clip. I first saw it on Damn D Reacts when he was doing it, and when I saw it, I was like, I don't know why that particular thing clicked to me. But then when I had like a lot of stuff in my family to happen, with the death and everything, I kind of just didn't feel like talking about it. But when I seen that clip, something clicked, like that idea about how family feuds, they really do affect people. And if y'all remember, uh, when he first came on to the LA, the Lakers, He was very happy, very excited, being a part of the team. His parents were there at every game. And then all of a sudden, when he, I believe, got married, I didn't, maybe they didn't think that he was actually going to marry the young lady. But when it's like after he got married, that's when a lot of things, you didn't see the parents. Hey, Kevin, you didn't see the parents as much, and he seemed a little depressed. And even though he was winning, taking the team to the championship, he was doing it. He was the player, but at the same time, you could sense like there was something missing there. And really, to be honest with you, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if you have a terrible relationship with your mother or your father or anybody in your family. When they are not it's like when they're not there in your life. Like I said, sometimes it's a good thing, but it does leave a void there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just something missing. And I'm going to show you another little short. It's good to see you, Kevin. Oh, baby. And your days will be long. So, and sometimes that just means just having a blessed life, because there's some people that do honor their mother and father, and they don't live long either. So but it's still good to do that. You know, I'm gonna share this one with you too. I thought that it was something. I wanted y'all to see this one.
Kobe Bryant wept tears of sadness alone in a bathroom after winning an NBA championship when just a year before he was on top of the world. The reason was because of his parents. Back in November 1999, Kobe Bryant met a girl, Vanessa Urbieta, and the two fell in love.
Caught my heart. I just knew that she was good.
Just 6 months later, they were engaged and it seemed like a fairy tale ending, except that Kobe's parents hated his decision. Still, the two moved forward and got married in the spring of 2001. But this choice completely severed Kobe's relationship. Kobe's parents wouldn't accept Vanessa, and his immediate family refused to attend the wedding. Despite the personal turmoil, Kobe had a career year. He averaged 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, helping the Lakers to win an NBA championship. But Kobe's parents purposely wouldn't attend his games. Kobe couldn't celebrate one of his greatest accomplishments with two of the most important people in his life. While Kobe's relationship was never fully patched up with his parents, he and Vanessa stayed together and raised a wonderful family. Sadly, sometimes you can't have it all.
So okay. So, you see that kind of stuff, and you like, what is it profit of man to gain the whole world and lose their soul? And it's kind of like, I believe that, hey, young Riaz, I believe that he wanted his parents to be in his life. I don't believe that he did not just like, I don't want them there. But because, it's a thing called good and bad pride. And sometimes when you are prideful, it definitely will mess you up. See, I feel like he has some bitterness, like when she was, I think it was 7G07 talking about when his mother or father sold the memorabilia, and then when they didn't accept Vanessa, his wife, if you heard in the little clip, that really broke his heart. And so sometimes when people have bitterness in families or bitterness with their parents, it's hard to get out of that pride because, and sometimes pride pride can make you not want to reconcile with someone when that might be the right thing to do. Pride can really mess up a lot of relationships. And that's what's wrong with people now. It's pride and it's ego, and those things go hand in hand. And when I was looking up the definition on prideful, is having excessively high opinion of oneself, and sometimes, being prideful, that's arrogance. Arrogance is a false confidence. And sometimes that's thinking you're better than other people, or you're in a higher level, or you don't have to take accountability or apologize. Those type of things, pride can mess people up. And I think that even though he was a great basketball player, he has some major character flaws that at the end, they really hindered even his relationship with his wife. But like 7G07 said, I believe, no, I think it was Lonnie had said that even with his wife had issues with the mother, because the wife would do for the wife, you know, more than he would for his own parents. And she ended up, after, Kobe passed, she wanted more money. She wanted, her daughter to take completely, care of her. And I can understand that to an extent. But it ain't no free rides over here. People, and especially with families, they fall out big time with money. Money is the love of money is the root of all evil, because when people don't get paid their money back, and you have one family member that feel like, okay, you owe me this money, this was not a gift, this was a loan, and that person is like, arrogantly saying, no, I did this for you, I did that for you, I don't owe you anything, but I told you that I'm giving you something. I told you that I'm loaning you something. See, I had people in my family to fall out because of money. Money is very it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing, because some people, when they have it in their hands, they don't know how to handle it. And Alif said Kobe was full of crap. Hey Tamika, Kobe was full of crap. That was solely his reason for mistreating his parents. Parents are within their right to voice their opinion. It's up to the son and daughter to level with them. Right. Hey, Games and Raps, what's popping? Good to see you. That's what I'm saying. Everybody has their opinion on it. And like I said, I don't care what even my dad, me and him didn't always get along. But one thing I realized, people don't live forever. People die. Either I'm going to die before him, or he's going to die. So am I going to continue to keep having grudges on what he didn't do or what he did do? Or am I going to, or is it too much for me to be like, the past is a past, let's move forward? You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes pride will mess you up, so you won't even do that, because you feel like you have the right to be mad. And sometimes some people do, but that doesn't mean you should stay there just because you feel like a parent or a family member did something really tragically, had a tragic situation. Like, say for instance, if your uncle I'm gonna say, if your uncle molested your daughter, what do you do with that kind of stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, or if I loan my sister $500, I said, this is a loan, this is not a gift, and if I need this back by, if you can pay me a little each month, as long as you pay me a little each month, I'm fine with it. But when I call my sister and she don't answer the phone, or then when I text her, hey, when you gonna pay me back? Well, you remember the times that and my sister's a lot older than me. She's 16 years older than me, so she could be my mother. My sister could say, you remember the times that when you was a baby, I used to feed you and all this guy. I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing like that. I just want to know when you gonna pay me, because we made it very clear that this was a loan. This was not a gift. And see, this is how family fall out, because you always have either one or both parties so prideful and they so ego driven, nobody can accept or take accountability for their wrong. That's the problem. I'm gonna read some of these comments. Kevin said, parents are not meant to be your friends or like your child's friends. Right. Lonnie says, that stuff his parents sold was the parents. Okay, you said that stuff his parents sold was the stuff from high school. They had it long time ago. I guess it was his memorabilia from coming up when he was in high school, I believe. I'm not sure, Lonnie. He treated his parents like ish, but took care of his wife mother. Correct. And that's what I just didn't understand that. So you have a problem when your mama or your daddy, want, some, to sell your memorabilia for money, because maybe at the time he wasn't giving his mom money, mom or dad money. I don't know. But the point of the matter is you taking care of somebody else's mom. So, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna show you another video right quick. This is John Sally talking about the situation. And thank you guys for coming through. Hope you press the like button, please.
Well, we talked about hip hop. Besides Slum Village, which Fonte.
Let me turn this up. I don't know why this is so low.
And the other producing crew that came on after Ninth Wonder. When I sit around, I started thinking about it. I did an interview about Jay Dilla with a great director, writer.
This is John Sally almost walked out when Vlad asked why Kobe's parents didn't speak at the memorial.
With Fonte about this music business. I start listening to old hip hop and I played something for a new artist. So I'm telling you, I sat back and I started thinking, Little Brother, underrated. We should do the most underrated hip hop artists. Because some people we're going to say is trash and they sell a lot of records. So we're not going to rate them on whether we think they're talent, because everyone got talent. Let's talk about the ones they're not talking about.
I got you.
Yeah, well, we're going to come to that.
Kobe's parents didn't speak at the memorial. Why do you think that was?
It's time to go. It's time to leave this interview. I think. Oh, yeah, I got to go.
He doesn't want to answer.
First time I'll walk out of your interview.
You don't have to answer if you don't want.
No. Maybe they didn't want to. Maybe Jelly Bean and his wife and assisting them not in the spotlight. And maybe they didn't want the targeting of being in the spotlight, as seeing it as a time to say something, because they hadn't said a lot in the past 10, 20 years. So to come up now after he's passed and have something to say, we already know the grief. So Vanessa invited all those people, did an association with the Lakers. They work with them all the time. Jelly Bean and his wife weren't a part of going to the games and doing all that. I don't think. So I think it's pretty cool that they stayed out of it, so no focus would go to anything. It didn't give them anything to tag.
Yeah, and from what I understand,
that was a really good answer.
Yeah, it's a very good answer. And I mean, from what I understand, he wasn't really speaking to his parents for a very long time. He was estranged from his parents. I guess they didn't support him marrying Vanessa, and then that never really got repaired.
Yeah. Then
there was a whole situation. They were selling like his memorabilia at one point or something like that.
But I saw pictures in the memorial pamphlet that everyone received when they got there. Kobe with his nephews and his, pictures with his sisters.
Oh, okay.
That was she all of that was inside of there. I think Vanessa did an unbelievable job. Let me tell you. I don't know. We all may be sad, but not as sad as her.
Oh no, Vanessa. I mean, losing your husband is one thing.
Losing your baby,
losing your daughter along with your husband at the same time. Your husband is Kobe Bryant, and it really. I mean, yes, you have your own life and your own personality, but so much of it is tied into this giant.
And so I think he was still pretty close to his either one or both of his sisters. Before he passed, he was speaking with either one or both of his sisters. So he didn't lose all connection with his family. So that was a blessing that he at least had some still connection with his nephews and, like I said, his siblings. So this kind of stuff is unfortunate. I'm thinking if Kobe could come back, like, I wonder, would he do things differently? Would he have said to his mom and his dad, I love you, I forgive you, I hope you forgive me? Would he have those words? And you never know, because when people pass on, it's not like we can talk to those people. So I just wonder. So while you here, I would say, on this earth, make the attempt to make amends with people as much as you can. Like, you're not going to do it with everybody, because some people you just need to walk away from. Let's just be real. There's some people it's just not worth you mending the fence. You know, um, it's just not. But there is people, like I said, there is situations, especially when it comes to your parents and those that you were once close to in your family. There is times where you do need to reconcile. That doesn't mean let's get back close, because sometimes those type of relationships, they'll never be the same after something happens like this. They'll never be the same. But they can still be reconciled to where you can still be able to tell that person you love them, or go and check on them, and see how they're doing, things like that. So but sometimes, like I said, pride messes up a lot of things, because we always think, pride will tell you you got time. What if you don't have time? What if you get into a car accident and you or that person gets killed? Like, there has been situations where people thought they had more time, and then something happens, their loved one dies or they die, and they can never say what they really wanted to say to that person, because they thought they had more time. And time is promised to no man or woman. That's what people need to understand. So you can be mad at someone, and sometimes you can have the best reasons to be mad. But is it worth carrying a grudge to your grave? That's what you have to figure out, you know. And pride is very dangerous, because it keeps you, to me, just like fear, in a cage, in a jail cell, basically. And it destroys your relationships around you, because you have so much entitlement. You have so much, I'm right and you're wrong. you know a lot of people that are prideful, they're very, very judgmental as well. So even though Kobe was a great basketball player, um phenomenal, talented, there was some major character flaws, like he was saying, here in Kwame's interview. Like, he was a person, he was an introvert. There's nothing wrong with being an introvert. I'm an introvert. But the bad part about Kobe, from some of the interviews that I heard, he had a problem with socializing and being sociable with people, to the point to where he almost seemed off-putting, or standoffish, rather. So I'm gonna share another video with you, and I hope I'm not boring you guys, but I wanted to really talk about this, because people really don't realize how we don't have time in our hands. We just don't. And it would be foolish for people to think that, especially when you just don't know when it's your last day. This is
Reunite
from the
with his mother
celebrities.
before his death.
I get my competitiveness from my mother.
Kobe is survived by his beautiful wife Vanessa
So, okay, let me
and their
share
three
this.
daughters, as his daughter Gianna
Tell me if y'all can hear it.
was also among the victims of the helicopter crash. But what was his relationship with his own parents? Even though his mum, Pam Bryant, didn't attend her son's wedding, they stayed really close until he had to file a lawsuit against her. So what was the reason for such a breakdown?
So this is what hurt feelings get you too. And I'm gonna say the mama, maybe the daddy, but they was talking about the mama most because he had a very strong relationship with his mother. Um, he even gave her accolades on her being so strong. Um, her feelings also can mess people up because he was really hurt that his mother didn't respect his choice of who he wanted to love and marry. And that plays, if y'all ever hear of family issues like this, I've heard of this before. People fall out majorly when they are, they chose someone and that family member, that mother or that father doesn't accept that person. It's very hurtful to that person. It may be even hurtful to the other party because maybe they feel like they deserve better. And people really fall out because of things like that.
And why did he stop talking to his mother? Kobe Bryant's death became a huge loss for millions, touching the hearts of people around the world. And one of the main values for the NBA legend. Despite his undeniable passion for basketball, was his family, whom he always led by example. So how did he see the role of a parent in his kids' lives?
As parents, it's our responsibility to make sure we are educating our children, educating ourselves on how to protect our children and how to educate our children and set them up for success.
Kobe looked up to his own parents as role models.
Hey, D. Price.
Praising his mum for her hard, competitive nature. And he truly inherited this feature from her. Describing how she was different from his father, Joe Bryant, who was also an NBA player.
He's like, he's such a extrovert, and my mom's the real firecracker.
So why did their relationship fall apart? It all started in 2013 when Kobe's mother tried to sell his memorabilia at an auction behind his back. It was reported that Pam Bryant was paid $450,000 in advance, which she used to buy a house in Las Vegas. Kobe was so angry that he filed a lawsuit against his parents to block the sale of his own things. I say to them, "I'm going to buy you a very nice home." And the response is, "That's not good enough?" "Then you're selling my things?" the NBA star said. Ever since then, Bryant hasn't spoken to his parents, leaving barely any chance for a happy reunion. Later, he even wrote a letter to his younger self, stating that he wouldn't have given control over his money to his parents if he'd known the outcome. The most important advice I can give you is to make sure your parents remain parents and not managers. Trust me, setting things up right from the beginning will avoid a ton of tears and heartache. It seemed that a lot of this pain remained with Kobe.
What does that mean? That means having boundaries with family. Kevin says parents are humans too, and they are not perfect. By them being your elder, you can address it and give them grace. If you get crazy, you just have to remove yourself until they come around. Correct, Kevin. I agree with you, and that's kind of what I did. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, we have to learn to give people grace sometimes. I know some of us think we all of that, and we got all the answers and we are entitled, to everything. But sometimes you got to give people grace. Now, some people is just blatantly, just, mean, evil, like I said, but I believe, his parents really loved him. That was their child. Now, some parents out here now, not so sure, because these parents, they'll do anything to their kids, but you know, I believed his parents did love him. But even with that, you do have to have boundaries. As we see, he said, he really wished his parents should have just stayed parents and not his managers. So, like I said, money messes people up for real. The love of money.
Until his final days, as he reportedly hadn't found peace within his own family. His parents didn't even attend his retirement ceremony, where he thanked everyone from NBA legends
Right, Lonnie.
to his wife and kids. But not his mum and dad. Kobe Bryant tragically left this world at 41 years old, being remembered as a legend, role model, and inspiration for millions across the globe. His mother, Pam, hasn't commented on her son's death yet, so people can only guess whether they managed to talk before the accident or not. But the world knows that Kobe Bryant was not only one of the best players of all time, but also a great father and loving husband who tried his best to make the life of his family better with each day.
That was a really good video. When I saw it, I was just like, this is something I would like to share with you guys. Like I said, we don't know if he was able to talk to his loved ones. I know he did, like I said, have some type of relationship with his siblings and his nephews. But I wonder if he was here, would he change things differently? If he could come back, would he make things right with his parents? Those are the things that you wonder about. But, like I always say, in this life, we don't have any redos. We're here and then we're gone. And we don't know the time or the hour. But sometimes, like I said, is some grudges worth keeping hold to? Like, is that really worth it in the long run? One thing that I'm learning with my family is to create boundaries with my family. Because they still see me as, some of them, not all, they still see me as little Selena with the two big long, ponytails on the side. And I have to kind of let people know, no, I'm not that Selena anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown woman, and you have to create boundaries and let people know there's just certain things and certain ways or certain things you're not going to say to me. You have to create boundaries even with the people that you love, because some people, they will still treat you as, little Selena or little Lonnie or little whoever, you know what I'm saying? So you really do have to be create boundaries with people that you love, as well as people that you don't know. um this is this is unfortunate, but I would like for, if if your parents are still living and you have kind of a rocky relationship with them, depending on what it is, um, try to uh, try to be, try to think about, is it worth me holding a grudge with this person for years? What you said? Let me find out, big sis pumpkin Selena. What you talking about? Like, you older than me. Big, let me find out. Oh, you a mess. I was a pumpkin though. I had and I was a baby. I was had black curly hair. Had big cheeks like I do now, and all I did was smile when I was a little baby. So and eat. I used to be a thickums too when I was big. When I was a little baby. So yeah, my parents, some of like my big cousins, they still see me as little old Selena, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm not that. So you have to let people know. Don't come at me like that. So I think it was another video. I want you guys to check out Miss Coco BX. She did a video, not the one that she did recently, but she did one maybe about 4 weeks ago. She talks about, basically having boundaries with family and friends and how you should treat people accordingly. And I want you to check this out. I thought this was a very beautiful how she explains certain things. And some of you may can relate to it. Lonnie, I believe you were in the chat as well. So I don't know if you remember this, but I want to share this with you.
Understand that it is okay. It is perfectly okay to make boundaries. It's very okay to make boundaries. You have to understand that it's okay if you make boundaries and people cross those boundaries in your life, that it's okay for you to cut them out of your life. Stop thinking you got to hold on to everybody because of who they are in your life. I don't care if you've known them 5 minutes, 5 years. Known them all your life. They're your best friend, your cousin, your mama, your daddy, your sibling. It does not matter. It does not matter. When people are doing insane things, they know what they're doing insane, point blank, period. We're not going to sit around here and act as if we are not adults. That's what we're not going to do. We're going to hold people accountable for what they do. We're going to hold people accountable for what they say. Because at the end of the day, I would expect you guys to do the same for me, period. Like I said, I decided to be an open book because that's who I am. My assignment, like I've stated before, is not for everybody. Everybody's assignment is not to be open. Everybody's assignment is not to be put everything on a front street. I just like to do that because that's who I am, because I don't mind living in a glass house so that someone else can build bricks. Simple as that. Salute, Cousin Gary. Happy holidays, baby. I love you. But you got to understand, some things in your life, you're going to have to learn to make the best decisions for you. And the best decisions include protecting your peace. Point blank, period. Protecting your peace seems like such a simple thing to say. It really, really does. Salute, Bryant Black. It seems so simple as night and day. Oh, protect your peace, protect your peace. But I'm here to tell you today, as I sit here today, December 27th, this year was not easy for me to protect my peace. It wasn't. Like I stated, the very beginning of my year started off with some craziness with my last relationship. Dealt with a lot of stuff, still dealing with a lot of stuff behind the scenes, malicious acts towards me, all these type of things. And it was not easy to protect my peace. The thing is that I've known about myself, though, however, is how I deal with certain situations. I now know that me protecting my peace has to be top priority on what anyone else feels. See, you guys have to understand, this is an individual assignment. It's not about who likes it, who doesn't like it, who feel a way about it, who you making uncomfortable. It's not about any of that. This is about you. When you learn that this assignment is your individual assignment, that is the only way that you're going to get to your next level. That is the only way that you're going to get to your next chapter. What I did for so long was I allowed people to be comfortable doing fucked up shit. So yes, I sit here and I take responsibility for that. Evening, beautiful Cherish sis. How are you, baby? I hope you had a good holiday. We have to understand that. We have to take accountable for the way that we allow people to treat us. Okay? Simple as that. Salute, young Riaz. Hope you had a great holiday, baby. That was one of the hardest things that I had to learn this year. I had to learn that I had to take responsibility for what I was allowing in my life. I had to learn to take responsibility for what I was allowing in my space. I had to take responsibility for what I was allowing in my spirit. You understand? These are all the things that I had to hold myself accountable for. Nobody else is responsible for what anybody else does to you if you don't allow them to do it. Some things, yes, absolutely, absolutely are beyond our control. Those are facts. However, when we have the wisdom to change the things that we can, wisdom to know the difference in the things that we cannot change, then and only then will we get into our next greatest season, is what I'm telling you. This year taught me that, guess what? I can't put my trust in man. And when I mean man, I'm not just talking about a boyfriend, a girlfriend. I'm talking about a man, period. And I'm not just talking about man in the sense of a male. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about how they talk about back.
Oh, I know, Lonnie, girl, you crazy. That's okay. Be yourself, honey.
In the biblical days, don't put your trust in man. That was the hard lesson that I had to learn this year, to not put anyone above yourself.
Hey, agent.
Find something bigger than yourself, because I'm very in tune with my spirit, yes. But as far as a physical being, no.
Hey, House of Urban.
That was the hardest lesson that I had to learn this year. When you give your all, sometimes you can wound up giving all of you until you have nothing left. And then you will be an empty vessel. If you give all of you away, you will have nothing left for yourself. Those are the facts. But what I'm speaking of, I'm not talking about materialistically. So I don't want you to think I'm talking about materialistically. I don't care about none of that. I'm talking about your peace. I'm talking about protecting your spirit, your mind, your soul. These are the things that are worth protecting. These are the things that are worth fighting for. You have to understand that not everybody's going to mean you no good. I don't give a damn if you share the same blood. Trust and believe me that I understand the assignment now. I get it. I didn't understand it completely at first, but I get it now. And I'm the type of person, I always did really good in school. It only took me one time to get it. Trust me, if I got it wrong the first time, there wasn't a second go around. It wasn't a rewind. It wasn't a replay. I get it the first time. And this time around, as I'm about to get ready to go into 2024, in a few days, I can sit here and honestly tell you guys that I understand the assignment. I'm grateful for revelation.
Hey, Ricardo.
I'm grateful for revelation of people. I'm grateful for learning what is for me and what is not for me. I'm grateful for learning what I thought was for me, but was really against me. I'm grateful for those lessons, because what we have to understand, y'all, these are life lessons. Now, was I devastated? You're damn right I was devastated. I was devastated because I had put my trust in man. I put my trust in man when I knew better. My issue was I knew better. I didn't do better when it came to certain people. That's facts. I put them above, on a pedestal where they shouldn't have been. But as I've stated, it was a learning lesson. I'm grateful for the lesson learned. Even in the midst of the storm, I am grateful for the lesson learned and that I learn the lesson now. Can you imagine if I hadn't learned the lesson this way, this hard way that I've been experiencing now, and I had already been completely in my new season? Can you imagine how much more devastating that would have been? All I want to get you guys to understand is this. Sometimes the lessons that we learn come in the middle of our season. I want y'all to listen to that and understand that and internalize it. Sometimes the lessons that we learn come in the middle of our season.
Sometimes the lessons that we learn come in the middle of our season. Like I said, some lessons you will learn, and some people you'll learn that you can reconcile, and some people you will have to distance yourself and handle people with a long handle spoon, and only you know what is best for you and your peace. Because even though people are related to us by blood, that doesn't necessarily mean we got to put up with their crap either. So we have to know the difference. We have to know our limits, and we have to put up boundaries with even the people we love the most. And guys, check out Miss Coco BX. I don't know if Lonnie, if you're still here, or someone that is a mod, if they can put her link in the chat, because I don't know how to do it on here. But her name is let's stroll up, Miss Coco BX. And yeah, that was a powerful word to me. Hey DJ, hey Smitty, I hope I spoke to you. Ricardo, no, I'm not doing well. Oh, you're driving. I'm not doing well since my Cowboys lost. So you know how that is. Don't come up in here laughing. I don't want to hear it. Anybody that would like to come up, if you've had some family situations, did you reconcile with your family? Did you part ways? I mean, do you have any instances or any examples of how you dealt with it? You are more than welcome to come up. And like I said, guarding your peace with people. Hey, Angelo, Big Red. Guarding your peace with people is very important that you do that, because people can sometimes either make or break you. And what I mean by that is some people can really just break down your spirit, and you love them so much, but they break down your spirit and you just can't deal with them anymore. Okay, you can't find it. Oh, shucks. Here is, if you guys want to, let me see if there's a way I can do it. But this is the name of her channel. She talks about real life stuff. You guys really need to check her out. I don't know if I can, but I have her on my community wall. So if you guys stroll down and look at my community wall, you can see this same video or one of her videos on my community wall, and you can go through it that way. Hey CX, how are you? So yeah, just let me know. Do y'all want me to put a 1 if you want me to play a little more, or if you guys want somebody would like to come on the panel. If you want to hear a little bit more about boundaries, because like I said, you need boundaries with your family. Sometimes your family can be the worst, to be honest with you, and that's unfortunate. Family can be jealous of you. Family can be very toxic.
Sometimes they don't come in the beginning. Sometimes they come in the middle of our season. You know why? That is our clue. That is our inclination to straighten up and fly right and pay attention to the clues. Sometimes we are seeing anything and everything we need to see. However, we choose to look past it. We choose to look past the clues. That is honestly something that I can say that I did this year. Do you understand what I'm telling you? That is something that I did this year. That's why I was dealing with everything that I was dealing with, putting my trust in man, when I know I should have put my trust in myself and my higher power. Because one thing about man may tell you one thing, but guess what? Man is doing just what man is supposed to do. Man is supposed to forsake you. This ain't about you having to be no Bible thumper, because I ain't no Bible thumper. I'm just a girl from the hood, from the BS, that been through some things, that know a little bit. That's all. I don't know it all, though. I'm just here to share with you what I know, and I'm hoping that you can take the words that I'm stating, and if you need to apply them in your life, apply them, because I don't want you to go through what I went through. I don't want you to have to reach the harsh reality that just because you love people, that they're going to love you back the way you love them. I don't want you to reach the harsh reality because just because you keep it all the way real with people, that they're going to do it like that with you. And I ain't talking about on this app. I'm not talking about on this app. I'm talking about in your real lives. You got to understand that not everybody has the same heart as you do. But one thing that I've learned in my life experiences, even though I know I'm not naive, y'all, to the fact, trust me, that everybody may not have the same heart as I do, I decided that I still don't want to take the love that I have inside of me away. That's what I decided that I didn't want to do. Because you got to understand, when you've been poked and prodded so much since you was a kid, in foster care, out of foster care, bounce with this family member, that family member, this family member saying they love you, but they want you for the money, all these crazy things. And when you've been abused emotionally, sexually, psychologically, spiritually, when all these things have come to pass, and these things were meant to break you to your core, the essence of who you thought that you were, and you decide to rise anyway, in the words of the great Maya Angelou, still I rise, then and only then will you understand that guess what? You got a purpose. I'm just here to let you know that yes, actions have to speak louder than your words. I'm telling you that you have a purpose, but it does not matter what I say. You have to internalize it and understand that yes, you have a purpose. It is up to you to open up your mind and your spirit so that you can internalize what your purpose is. Your purpose may not be like my purpose, but that does not make your purpose any less greater than mine. Don't forget who you are, okay? A lot of us are running around here and you either forget who you are or you ain't learned who you are. See, it's only one or two things, sweetheart. You either forget who you are or you haven't quite learned who you are as of yet. But don't let that be the stopping stone of your life on who you want to be. That is not the end for you. This is not the end of your story. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is not the end of your story. Salute, beautiful sis Selena. This is not the end of your story. A lot of you guys are walking around here, and just because life threw you curveballs, because life didn't give you silver spoons, and half of the time you had to eat off your paper plates, or you had to eat out of your hands, or eat with your hands, you're sitting around here mad at the world. You're sitting around here talking about woe me. Some of our lives, you have to understand, they started in reverse. You see what I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? Some of our lives started in reverse. Hell no, my beginning won't good. Y'all heard my stories. They wasn't good. However, it's because my particular story was meant to be in reverse. I was meant to go through those trials and tribulations. I was meant to be that cold, hungry, homeless kid sleeping in abandoned buildings and parks and bumps off in foster homes. I was meant to go through those things. How harsh they were, yes. Would I wish it on anybody? Absolutely not. However, that was my particular journey that I had to go through, y'all. Is all I'm stating. I had to go through those journeys in order to shape me, to mold me, in order for the potter to break me, to gracefully break me, to mend me, and to put me back together again.
So I'm going to stop it right there. Again, it's Miss Coco BX, MZ, KOCOA BX. MZKOCOABX. Miss Coco BX. Awesome young lady. I had the pleasure of meeting her. And really, like I said, we all have experienced things and with people that we loved and we hold so dearly. And the worst hurt is the hurt when it's people that you truly love and care about. So it is really unfortunate, the situation that happened, with Kobe Bryant and his parents. But I hope what we get from this, we can get a whole bunch of lessons from this. One thing that I will say is don't uh, let your grudges hold too long. you know, don't be so prideful uh, to say you're sorry or to have a conversation, because pride ruins a lot of relationships. There's so many lessons just in what I've shown you today. Also, creating boundaries. Had he created boundaries from the beginning with his parents, would he still have the same outcome? So hopefully it would be different, because sometimes when we create boundaries, we let people know their position and what our position is. And so there's not a lot left for confusion to enter. But there's so many lessons to learn from this. And I'm not trying to be super spiritual. I'm not trying to be, Miss Evangelist over here. But what I will say is there is some relationships worth mending. They are. But there's also some relationships that's meant to be severed. And basically, it's just you should know or have some type of discernment on what relationships that is to be severed and to be mended. Only you know that. And also another thing that I've learned, give people grace. You want somebody to give you grace, give it to someone else. Everybody is not on your level of thinking or comprehending or maybe feeling. Everybody is different on how they receive information, how they see things. So you have to sometimes give people grace. Okay. So there's so many lessons we can just learn from Kobe Bryant in his story, you know. So it's but like I said, because all of us are different, we're all going to take something different from it. And some people won't take anything from it, but if you're really listening, if you're really dissecting, you can find something in that you can learn to apply even with your family. Like I've learned even just in the past year to create boundaries. There's some family members I can't let get close to me like I did before, because they don't understand when to stop the foolishness. You have those family members. So only you know what is enough and what you can deal with. But then sometimes we are sometimes so judgmental. We think people should know this and should be like this and should operate this way. So we sometimes do have to give people grace, and not be so judgmental and not be so hard on people. So, everything is a lesson. Life is a lesson. And then it's some people you need to kick them as far as to the east and to the west, because they are toxic. They are not worth your time or your energy or your peace. Hey D, what's up, capital C? They're not worth your time. They're not worth your peace. They just not worth the energy that it takes to deal with them. And that goes for people that you love dearly and those that you don't. So you have to know what to entertain. But like I said, I have always been taught. Hey, Shirley, I've always been taught to honor your mother and your father. So, but I do understand there is some situations where it's a little hard to do that, depending on the relationship and what has happened. But that's why you also have to know, like I said, the boundaries. There has to be taking place in that too. You have to let people know where you stand and what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to, put up with. So it's a lot of different things we can just learn from this Kobe Bryant story. And I always say, I don't want this to go in one ear and out the other. Oh, this was a good live. Yeah, but what did you actually get from it? Because again, I'm not trying to be super spiritual because I got my own stuff, right? But there is things that I learn and I try to apply to my life. So since nobody wants to hit the panel, I'm going to exit stage left. I hope that there was something that I said, something that you got from this live about family feuds, and really they do affect your life. They might not seem like it, right now, but later on down the road, they affect different areas in your life. And sometimes they affect your future relationship. They will affect your future relationships. They'll affect other relationships that you have at your job, your friendships, your associates, all of these type of relationships. When you kind of have a struggling, feud, or you have a feud with a family member or family members, it does create uh, a lot of chaos sometimes in your life, or it creates some problems, and sometimes you won't see them automatically. You may see them down the road. What'd you say? Don't let me come in. Boy, bye. I ain't let here you always coming in with your foolishness. But yeah, now I've been on here since what? I've been on here for an hour. You know me, it don't take me long to say what I need to say. I ain't got the theatrics like some people. I ain't got the musical drops and all that. I'm just talking and showing videos and things like that. So I don't have all the theater, movie stuff. But what I will say is I hope that whatever I say, that it is not full of fluff. I can tell you that. It's because I have experienced some things or have seen some things. Don't let your pride, don't let money, don't let you know, ego, everything. Don't let nothing, if it's a relationship worth salvaging, if it's a relationship that is worth you trying again, don't let that stop you from moving forward. But if it is not, and a person is just too toxic and you can't deal with them, they disrupt your peace, they disrupt your even your health. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you have so much stress, it affects your health. When it does that, sometimes it is best to distance or sever the relationship, you know. um yeah. Captain C crazy. But yeah, so you only know that, so but like I said, sometimes give people a little grace. Everybody is not where you are, and everybody doesn't see things your way. That's why it's all about having communication, which most people don't do. Everybody wants to do social media, texting. Do people even pick up the phone anymore? you know so there's things like that. People need to get off of their pride. They need to get off of their being judgmental. They need to get off of their ideals of how they see it, because it's not always how you see it. And just because you see it a way don't make it, it doesn't make it right or wrong. you know so that's just something to think about. So I don't want to bore you guys. I always say that. I want you guys to be blessed. Have a very nice evening. I might be back tomorrow, and how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like talking. I might go back later on tonight. I don't know. But then again, I might not. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I do have memberships. Please join my membership. My lowest is $2.99, where you can see some of my videos. You can contact me on social media, as well as and you know what? I need to do my first membership live. Hey, thank you, Juicy. I need to do that too. So you can join my membership. That helps me out a lot, as well as my Cash App is Selena Star. And what else about? Oh yeah, and I also do have super chats if you would like to support me in that way. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. It was a blessing to be on here to talk about something that was worth something instead of the drama. Because guess what? Selena gonna stay over here minding her own business, and I want people to mind theirs. So I appreciate those, my true supporters, people that come through. I don't care if it's pressing the like button, joining my membership, giving me a Cash App, giving me a super chat, or just saying hello. How you doing? You know, thank you for coming through. Thank you for showing your support in a lot of ways that you guys do. Be blessed. And remember, I don't have to know you to love you. And I love you to Reese's Pieces. Bye.